Does sexual thought or masturbation thoughts driving you crazy? Do they pop up in your mind in the middle of your daily work? Have you tried to get rid of it, but could not win over it? Then this Buddha story will enlighten you. In the times of Gautama Buddha, there lived a very famous and a very beautiful woman whose name was Amarpali. She was a prostitute, but she was so beautiful that there were always golden chariots standing at the gate of her palace. Even great kings had to wait to meet her. She had become so rich that she could purchase kingdoms. However, deep down she suffered a lot. In that beautiful body, there was also a beautiful soul, which anchored for true love. People called her Nagarvatu, which means, the wife of the whole town. One day she was standing on her terrace. Just then, she saw a young Buddhist monk who had nothing but just a begging bowl. However, he had a tremendous presence, awareness and grace. The moment she saw him, she was fascinated by his charm. She rushed down to him and said, "Oh monk, please accept my food at my home." The monk accepted her invitation. While serving him food, Amarpali said, "After 3 days rainy season is going to begin, I invite you to stay in my house for 4 months." Usually Buddhist monks do not stay in a place for days together. However, when it is the rainy season they stay in a place for those 4 months. The rest of the 8 months they continuously move around visiting places. The young monk replied, "I will ask my master. If he permits, then I will come after." Saying this, he left from there. Before young monk could reach assembly, his fellow monks who saw all this rushed to Buddha and said, "The young monk has to be stopped. Amarpali has invited him to her house to live for 4 months, and a monk staying in a prostitute's house, it is not right." Buddha said to them, "Keep quiet, let him come." The young monk came. He touched Buddha's feet and told him the whole story. He said, "Lord, a woman has invited me to stay for 4 months of the rainy season in her house. Every monk will be staying somewhere in somebody's house for 4 months. I too will have to stay somewhere for 4 months, therefore I need your permission to go there and stay. I shall go only if you permit." Buddha looked into his eyes and said, "You can stay." It was shocking for all the other monks. Thousands of monks who were there could not believe that Buddha has allowed a monk to stay in a prostitute's house, and all monks stood up and said, "This is not right. This man is hiding a fact. He is saying a woman has invited him, but in fact, Amarpali has invited him. She is a prostitute. How can he stay in a prostitute's house for 4 months?" Buddha said, "I know, and because he has not used the word prostitute, I am allowing him to stay there. He has respect for her anyways." After 3 days, young monk left to stay with the Amarpali. The other monks started gossiping. Buddha said to them, "You should keep silent, 4 months will pass and I trust my monk. I have looked into his eyes, there was no desire. If a monk's meditation is deep, then he will change prostitute, and if his meditation is not deep, then prostitute may change him. It is now a question between meditation and physical attraction. Just wait for 4 months." The disciples thought Buddha is trusting too much. That man is too young and Amarpali is too beautiful. He is taking an unnecessary risk. Anyway, 4 months passed. After 4 months, the young monk came and touched Buddha's feet. Following him came Amarpali. She too touched Buddha's feet and said, "Oh Lord, I tried my best to seduce this young monk. It was all useless. Instead he convinced me by his awareness that real life is only knowing your true self. Now I want to give all my possessions to the commune of your monks." Buddha said this to the other monks, "If you are afraid to be in the company of a prostitute, that fear has nothing to do with the prostitute. That fear is coming from your own unconscious because you have repressed your sexuality. If you are clean, then all judgment disappears. Every awakened person becomes a child. He has no judgments, not ignorant, but innocent. The energy flows from higher consciousness to lower consciousness, so this woman was impressed by the young monk's awareness and chose to abide by the right path. It is said that in later days, Amrapali became one of the enlightened woman monks among Buddha's disciples. The right way to control a sexual desire is not to suppress it. Suppression can also lead to other problems like mental or physical effects. Instead, the emphasis should be on redirecting the energy behind sexual desire. The yogic science says that in human body the sexual energy flows downwards, due to which sexual desires arises within us. However, by practicing meditation for a long time, the sexual energy starts rising upwards and then it is transmitted into spiritual energy. This spiritual energy is called ojas. This ojas makes a man intelligent and increases the aura on his face. Such a man can influence others with their words. Gautama Buddha is himself a best example for us to learn. If you want to free your mind from sexual or masturbation thoughts, then always remember that, if your meditation is strong and if your thoughts are pure, then by ascending your sexual energy into spiritual energy you can not only control your lust but to also achieve both spiritual and material success in your life. This is a wisdom story for you. Thanks for watching. Stay blessed.